Let's have a look at this one particular teacher in the United States, for example. Have a listen.
Ooh, if you don't like these, you know what's really gonna burn your biscuits? I don't have an American flag anywhere in my classroom either. Oh no!
So here's a teacher promoting, rainbow-coloured flags, transgenderism, etc., I presume, in his classroom, looking at the flags that he's got around, proudly saying that I don't have an American flag. Now, I would like to ask you, grandparents and parents out there, have you been to any of your kids' classrooms? You know, what's up on the walls there? Take a close look, James.
Well, we saw this last year. There was a case of that preschool in North Sydney, around the Rosebery area, that had one of the parents went in and found that for 3-4-year-olds, the whole thing was done up with not only rainbow flags, but also all these signs defining what different forms of gender and sexuality.
3-year-olds must know what pansexuality is.
Well, exactly. So, what, why? Why do we need to do this? And he said this is just completely inappropriate for young kids, and yet there is this desire to expose small children to these very sexual concepts. And you said it's about exposing them to a gay lifestyle. I don't think kids should be exposed to any sexual lifestyle.
Of course not.
Like it is just.
And the point is,
inappropriate.
You asked the question why, and the answer is this is a deliberate attempt by the hard left within this country and within the West to delegitimise the family as a unit, to delegitimise any sense of a moral universe that the family can set. This way, the teachers and the state education sets their own moral boundaries, and it's hard left, and it's not to the advantage of children, I can tell you that, James.
This is the program of every leftist totalitarian project in history. Since, the French Revolution on, it has been to divorce children from their families, to set children up against their parents' morality. So any sort of traditional morality that's being taught at home must be repudiated and refuted. That is what is going on here. And so the parents are cut off, and they are made to feel like they don't have any control over their kids, and the children are taught to hate their parents. Just as we see this everywhere in the education system, that kids are also taught, to hate the history of modern Australia as this terrible thing. They're taught to hate their parents and their morality as this terrible thing. The parents try and go along with it and try and keep up, but they never can. That's why you see all those parents in those drag shows, because they are trying desperately to hang on.
Let's not let them off the hook, because so much of this happens because, yes, parents are busy, they're apathetic, they're not really in tune to what their children are being exposed to 7-8 hours a day at school. But what we saw in those clips earlier in the program are parents actively choosing to take their little children, babies, toddlers and up, to men in G-strings, prancing around
because they've been taught that that's what tolerance is.
That this is what love is, and love is love and tolerance.
We have to start holding the parents accountable. We've got to stop normalising this lunacy and pretending it's some sort of progressive utopia. It is not. It has all sorts of consequences. You wouldn't take your kid to bar 20 to see a bunch of strippers working the pole. So why would you have a dude pretending to be a woman in a G-string prancing around in high heels in front of kids? It just makes no sense. And the fact that speaking up against this is now controversial. Speaking out against this can get you cancelled, can get you attacked as a bigot and a transphobe and all the other bloody terms they use to try to silence any dissent. I am genuinely worried about where we are as a society.
Rita,